Earlier this week, a video of U.S. national soccer team star Carli Lloyd kicking a 55-yard field goal went viral. Her trainer James Galanis told Fox Sports that one NFL team had expressed interest in hiring her. Galanis told Fox reporter Martin Rogers today she got another call from another NFL team. The one that called today, I don't want to say who it was willing to put her on the roster for the next game. That would be a preseason game. And now she's saying that she's considering allegedly she's been getting offers from NFL teams, and now we might get our first female field goal kicker. And I've seen people online cheering this and say, oh, wouldn't that be great? And we'd have our first female NFL player, it would be historic, and so on. I'll just tell you, as somebody who watches football avidly, I agree that having a female NFL player, even a kicker, would be historic. But one of the reasons why it would be historic is that it would probably lead to the first ever death on an NFL field. I mean, you put a woman on an NFL field as a player, and she will literally get killed out there. You put a 38-year-old, 140-pound soccer-playing female on an NFL field with a bunch of 300-pound, muscle-bound men who can run a 40-yard dash in 4.5 seconds. You combine those things, and her life is in danger. Now, even for those 250, 300-pound men, their lives are in danger. I mean, there are even just this in the last week or two, there have been two male football players who retiring from the league because their bodies can't handle the abuse anymore. So you put this woman on the field. I mean, this is such a terrible idea. I think eventually the NFL is going to give in to its politically correct urges, as it has a tendency to do, and it's going to pressure one of these teams to hire a female kicker. And it's going to be a terrible, disastrous idea that I don't want to see happen, and not because I don't want to see women playing football because I'm a sexist, although I have no interest in watching women play football because they just aren't very good at it. But that's not the issue. I don't want to see a woman get killed on the field, and that is what will happen. But just because you can drill a 55-yard field goal in practice, that doesn't mean you can do it in a game at game speed with pads on. There's one problem here, is that she's not wearing pads when she does this. And she also doesn't have a bunch of NFL defensive linemen bearing down on her. And aside from that, yeah, I mean, kickers are not taking the same physical abuse that a linebacker is going to take, or a running back's going to take, or even a quarterback's going to take. But the fact is, if you're a kicker, you're playing a game, you're in the middle of the action. And you're going to absorb some contact. If you play long enough, unless injuries knock you out before then, if you play long enough, you're going to absorb a lot of contact, even as a kicker. Kickers have to be able to at least attempt to make a tackle if they get a blocked kick or if there's a busted play. And on a busted play, the kicker can get tackled. If there's a busted play, kicker's got to pick up the ball and run with it. They can get laid out. And defensive players love that. They love the chance to tackle a kicker. On kickoffs, now assuming she'd be handling kickoff duties too, unless you're going to have a team that has her just doing field goals and then hires a separate person to do kickoffs, which will be a total waste of a roster spot. You only get 53 men on a game day roster. To give one of those up for an extra kicker is just not something that I think any NFL team's going to want to do. So assuming she's handling kickoff duties too, then she's got to run down the field. You have this 140-pound woman running down the field on a special teams play, full speed, as she's got blockers coming right at her. Again, 250-pound men. And these are special teams players. Their only job, if you're on the kick return team and you're not receiving the ball and you're a blocker, your job is to pick someone on that field that's coming at them and just lay them out. That's what your job is. And these guys love doing it. You're going to put a woman in that environment? Just absolute. It's not even funny because of the result, which would be brutal. I agree that probably eventually this will happen. And it might destroy the NFL. There's not a lot that could bring down the NFL behemoth, but a woman getting killed on the field might do it. Thank you for tuning in to The Daily Wire, one of the fastest growing conservative outlets in the entire country. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like and then subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any of our content.